Good day, my dear friends. This is Dr. Ishtiaq Ahmed. For a long time, people from the non Hindustani speaking parts of India uh, have been complaining that we don't understand when you speak in Hindustani. Hindustani, I say, is the proper, correct description of the lingua franca which connects northern India and Pakistan. That you speak in that, but we in South India do not follow what you say, and therefore we are alienated from your video presentations. Equally, some Bengali friends have said that can't you do programs in English simultaneously? Now, the thing is that I've tried to do programs in English, but what I've noticed is that there is a very small group of people who are interested in presentations in English. But I thought that in some cases, while I do the main thing in Hindustani, I should do them in English as well. And this is especially true when something like a new book has come in out, the new icon, Savarkar and the Facts by Arun Shouri. I have done a review of the book for the Friday Times of Lahore, Pakistan, which I am going to uh, paste the link below in the description of this video. And I would advise my friends to read the review I have done on the book, of the book. So now, what does Arun Shouri show in this book? You see, currently in India, there is a tendency, a strong trend, I would say, not a tendency, to damn Gandhi, Nehru, uh, Maulana Azad. Somehow, for Sardar Patel, there is a soft corner. But generally, the Congress is considered a Muslim appeaser party, whereas it was uh, V.D. Savarkar who was the real Indian nationalist, and so on and so forth. This is a very concerted campaign propaganda going on in India. But does this claim stand the test of facts? This is the main thing. And Arun Shouri does. Arun Shouri, as you know, is a former BJP minister during the prime ministership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sahib. And then he is a well known journalist who has published many books, very often questioning the received wisdom on different issues. So this time he's taken head on with this Hindu supremacist, Hindu nationalist, communalist point of view, which is being peddled in India. And what we learn from this massive study, very well done by Arun Shouri, is that Savarkar, while on the one hand was scathingly critical of things which are patently superstitious, like believing that the cow is a goddess. Some people believe that drinking the urine of the cow or eating its excretion has uh, medicinal properties. And then there are others who think that eating beef is forbidden in Hinduism. Arun Shouri demonstrates that Savarkar himself was very much against such beliefs prevalent among Hindus, and he wanted such matters to be decided by science and by uh, doctors. What to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what not to drink, things like this. Having said this about Savarkar and his extremely rationalist point of view, on which he was not willing to compromise, despite all the criticism he received, we learn that regarding his own life and his own uh, role in politics, Savarkar was very much capable of manufacturing inverted commas facts. He could fabricate things. And Arun Shouri gives many, many examples, of which I think the main argument would be that he was uh, involved at least in three cases where at the end of it a murder and assassination took place. The first was in 1909 when Savarkar was in England and he lived in the India House, and there was this India Society where Indian revolutionaries used to congregate. And Savarkar inspired people like Madan Lal Dhingra, a young Punjabi student in England, to carry out the assassination of a British officer which the Indian Society had invited as its chief guest, Mr. Curzon Wiley, who was a close advisor to the Viceroy of India. So that was one. But while Dhingra was hanged for this, Savarkar kept a distance from Dhingra so that he could not be arrested. Then he sent 20 pistols to India secretly, clandestinely. Okay? And with one of those pistols, the deputy collector, deputy commissioner, we can say, of Nasik city, Mr. Jackson, was murdered. Now, Mr. Jackson was a sympathetic person who was also a great scholar of Sanskrit. Anyhow, and thirdly, much later, Savarkar was the mentor of two individuals who took part in the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. On the one hand, Nathuram Godse and then Apte. These two people used to adore Savarkar, and Savarkar helped them with money and support in bringing out their publications. So, three cases of assassination, murder, in which Savarkar was involved in instigating, inciting the culprits to go down and carry out such a deed. Then, for being party to the conspiracy to kill Jackson, Savarkar was brought back from England to India to face charges. He was found guilty and was handed down a life imprisonment and sent to the cellular jail on the Andaman Islands. The cellular jail is notorious for being one of the worst type of places for prisoners, criminals as well as political prisoners. And the British used all the harsh, cruel methods to break down the people sent to the cellular jail. And indeed, Savarkar had to face harsh conditions in the jail. Uh, While you see, Savarkar initially wrote a book, The War of Independence, India's War of Independence, in which he showed Hindu Muslim unity. But while in this jail, Savarkar wrote in his own books that uh, some of the Hindu jailers uh, were especially cruel to the Muslim jailers, I'm sorry, were cruel to Hindus and even tried to convert convicted Hindus to Islam. And so but the main man, the head jailer for whom all these people worked, was an Irishman. And Savarkar didn't have a single word of condemnation for the head jailer who used these people. One thing. Then, in his own writings, Savarkar does not mention that he wrote several mercy petitions begging the British to forgive him, saying that he has atoned for his crimes and he was now convinced that the British way of doing politics was the right one. And then he even writes that I'm willing to do anything for the British in India, especially against the Turco Afghan fanatics, but that he had gone astray and he was a prodigal son coming back to the parental body, the government of India. Things like this, which I have which Arun Shouri has quoted, and which I have included in my book review. So you can read all that. Uh, Savarkar himself didn't mention that he wrote these uh, mercy petitions, and but later on these became public, and the apologists and the supporters of Savarkar have tried to show that these mercy petitions were actually written after consultation with Mahatma Gandhi. And uh, Arun Shouri shows, first of all, that in the case of Dhingra's assassination of the Englishman, Mahatma Gandhi was not there at all when this happened. We come to that later. Because in the trial regarding the murder of Gandhiji, Savarkar was also arrested, but he told the court that he was friends with Gandhiji, and for 1 year they lived together in India. And Arun Shouri has shown that Gandhiji was nowhere in England at that time, so it's a complete white lie. Not true at all. Secondly, this claim that Savarkar wrote these mercy petitions on the uh, advice of Mahatma Gandhi, he also shows is not possible because Gandhiji was not in India at all and they were not in touch, Savarkar and Gandhi, until 1920, which is much later. In any case, 1923, Savarkar publishes his book Hindutva, which is actually about Hindu supremacist views that India belongs to Hindus, and the historical examples and everything which are given in the book are meant to prove at the end that history can be twisted to suit the interests of a goal in the present, and that is to establish Hindu Rashtra. So the facts may speak one thing, but history is there as an instrument to establish the legitimacy of establishing Hindu supremacist rule over India. So that's the way Savarkar has done his work. Then we notice that after these mercy petitions, the English let him come back to India, but he was confined to some districts. from where after, I think in 1937, even those restrictions were removed. Thereafter, Savarkar started cultivating the British. After the Second World War broke out, Savarkar met Lord Linlithgow and pleaded with him that instead of recruiting Muslims into the British Army, he was willing to help the British recruit Hindus, and that Hindus and the British could work together. He went on his knees before the British, pleading with them to let someone from the Hindu uh, Mahasabha be nominated to high office, including the Viceroy's Executive Council. And he said that we are willing to let you decide, the British, when we don't want independence for India. You are absolutely free to decide when India should become even a dominion, uh, British dominion, not full independence. But in his own writings, public writings, Savarkar would write revolutionary tracts saying that we have to overthrow British rule and establish Hindu Rashtra. And this was noticed by the Viceroy, who described Savarkar as a double dealing little man. And so things like this. So Hindu supremacist ideology, which is currently, you know, uh, uh, very popular in India among the BJP supporters, uh, during the freedom struggle, the Hindu Mahasabha, like the Muslim League, had no role to play. They sided with the British. And so they have no one from that period to claim as their hero. So they have manufactured Savarkar as the real Indian nationalist, Hindu nationalist, in contrast to the Congress party, which was always willing to compromise with the British. This peaceful resistance, non-violent resistance, uh, Savarkar held in great contempt. He believed in revenge, in inflicting double the pain on the enemy, which is the Muslims. And he relished that Germany was establishing a great principle by persecuting the Jews. The same should be done to Muslims. Things like this. So I think this is a great, great book. I call it a masterpiece. And I've done this in English for those who do not or cannot follow my talks, which are in Hindustani, which is Urdu, which is Hindi, whatever you want to call it. And my dear friends, wherever you are, please subscribe to my YouTube video channel. On the right hand side, in the corner in the end, there is it's called a bell icon. Subscribe, just press, touch it, and you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Your support means a lot. Subscription is totally free. You are under no obligation, but it helps me increase my support and my outreach. All the best. Thank you very much.